If you rock with any of the content, subscribe to the channel. If you've heard any of these projects that I'm getting ready to talk about, I'd love to know what your favorite record is or why this album stands out to you or what your general thoughts are on the artist. Whatever. I don't get around to everything nowadays, but occasionally I do come across some music that inspires me or moves me in some kind of way. And each of these three albums, for different reasons, have just been in heavy rotation lately. I strongly recommend checking out all three of them. So let's get into it. Let me start off with Pj Morton. Piano player, gospel background, preacher's kid, I believe, or preacher's child. I think Arsenio Hall used to call it PC, preacher's child, or PK. What was it, PK? Preacher's kid. Pj Morton, Watch the Sun. I'm gonna try to give you a summary of each of these. People don't have time to listen to nobody. So my thing for this album, Watch the Sun, it's been a long time since I've heard a sing out loud in your car or sing out loud in the shower, sing out loud around the house while you're cleaning or mowing the grass, whatever you may be doing. It's really been a long time since I've heard that type of album, and this is it. Shout out to PJ on the album cover that kind of gives me some Stevie Wonder vibes, who, by the way, has a feature on the project. I'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, I'm just listening to a dude, man. It seems like he writes his own music and produces his own music. I like the little sampling on here. I'll get to that in just a second. Some guest appearances or some features. I really enjoy this album, man. It's 11 songs on here. It's only 38 minutes in length. 11 songs. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as all being standout tracks. And I'm not even counting the Wale joint, which isn't bad. And then there's another song on here by featuring Chronix, reggae dude or whatever, reggae artist, dance hall, whatever. That song isn't bad either. Just good feeling music, man. I like that he's on here. Love's Disease starts it off. Biggest Mistake is the second track. Please Don't Walk Away. Those are the second and third tracks. And it's kind of a similar subject matter or theme, and, the possibility of a love walking out of his life. Hey, man, that's just where I am with things. I appreciate some good R&B, traditional R&B. The next joint, My Peace, should be an anthem right now. Really should be an anthem right now. He reteams with JoJo and somebody else is on there, Mr. Talkbox. But this song actually samples the horns from Outkast. I think it was on an Outkast record. Liberation maybe was the name of it. But this is just about, I've been on this a lot lately. Let me get people out of my life that don't add value to my life. Don't add value or disrupt my joy, my peace. I don't have time for those folks no more. And that's what this song really is talking about. He says, if I don't take care of me, I won't be no good to you. Like, I'm just being honest and taking ownership of me and what I feel, what I'm going through. And I'm not trying to disappoint you, so I'm just putting it out here. If I don't take care of me, I'm not going to be any good to you. Then he says something like walking away from people that aren't adding to my life. So I got to tell you goodbye. And he says it in such a polite way. Like, you can't even say, oh, you hating, you an asshole, you want some BS. Like, nah, I'm just trying to tell you life is too short and we just can't rock together. So I love this record right here. It really should be an anthem. Be Like Water, if you look at the track list, if you see these new albums come out week to week, you look at the track list and you go down and you see a joint that has Stevie Wonder, that features Stevie Wonder and Nas. I don't have to say anymore, do I? Be Like Water, obviously from Bruce Lee, his famous saying, be like water. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. There's a video out there for this track. It doesn't really blow me away. It really kind of didn't meet my expectations in a way, but it's a very good record. And I love that PJ links up with a Nas, and then you bring in Stevie, who there's a lot of similarities between, obvious similarities between PJ and Stevie Wonder. So a good record, just quite didn't come out the way I had hoped in a way. Still Believe, banger. Jill Scott and someone named Alex Isley. Still Believe, love singing this record while I'm riding my bike. I can't sing a lick, couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, but it's just, and again, similar to Biggest Mistake and Please Don't Walk Out of My, Walk Away. It's just talking about the potential of losing out on a good partner, a good love. And he said, I still believe in this relationship. Jill Scott on here doing her thing that she was doing back when we first met her. Jill Scott's voice is what it is. Her talking or singing or doing poetry all really works for me. Dope. A Little Too Heavy, another banger on here, similar to My Piece. Like shit that's just bringing me down and messing with my joy, disrupting my good energy. Get away from me with that. It's A Little Too Heavy is a dope record. On My Way features El DeBarge. I didn't even realize this was who the hell this was as I was listening to this on a couple of bike rides. On My Way is dope. Another damn near anthem for what's going on. All this talk about mental health, yada, yada, yada. I'm struggling. Check on your strong friend. On here, PJ and El DeBarge are talking about, look, if you need me, just call me and I'll be on the way. I try to help out. I try to throw you a lifeline, reach down and help you up. I'll encourage you, so on and so forth. So I really love this record, and it's good to hear from El DeBarge. That's what it is. The album, of course, PJ has to deal with, has to have some gospel music, some straightforward gospel music. And he has that with this joint that closes out the record called Better Benediction. Just check it out. I love that song as well. Solid album. I said this on PJ's YouTube channel. This, unfortunately, he comes along in 2022 when the world on a large scale really isn't checking for projects like this. A lot of dudes my age and younger aren't running around singing love songs and ballads. I respect and appreciate from the bottom of my heart that this brother is on the scene making music. And I look forward to the next album. Shout out to PJ. Moving on, let me mark this down. Moving on to Ransom. I'm going to get to Flea Lord last, with no disrespect to him and his project, Pray for the Evil 3. Ransom. No Rest for the Wicked. I listened to this album, and this is my problem with East Coast hip hop and the lineage or the legacy, the family tree. Ransom is phenomenal. This album is damn near flawless. It's like blemish free. It really is. But what I was going to say was, I'll point to somebody like Nas, my favorite dude in hip hop. It's very interesting who some of the older guys, even a Jay-Z, one of my top guys as well, it's very interesting who they go out and do songs with and who they don't. And when I sit here and time after time and after time, there's none of the older dudes or the big three, the big two, however you want to look at it, none of them reach back and acknowledge what a brother like Ransom is doing. And shout out to Ransom, because he ain't losing no sleep over it. But I just feel like so much of this dope East Coast, New York hip hop stays, and I think Ransom is from New Jersey, maybe. But it stays over here online, underground, in this lane, and it shouldn't. I remember it was like one of the third big records from Drake. I'm Doing Me, whatever. It was that one. It had a weird time signature to it or something, or the breakdown of it or whatever. But it was like, I'm doing me, something, something, I'm doing me. He kept repeating that or whatever. And Jay, I heard at the time, I don't know if I heard Jay-Z say it or if Drake was talking about it or whatever, but Jay-Z supposedly heard that record and was like, hey, this kid has got it and he's next, or this solidifies what he is. It kills me that I don't hear those types of cosigns for somebody like Ransom. We did get the Jay-Z's cut with on the Harder They Fall soundtrack, Jay-Z and Conway. Song really wasn't all that memorable for me, to be honest with you. From what we've heard, there's been a song recorded with Nas and a Benny the Butcher. I haven't heard it. I don't think it's surfaced, and they talk about working with each other in the future or something. But then Nas goes out and does a joint with A$AP Rocky. I'm not trying to diss A$AP Rocky and A$AP Ferg or whatever. Okay. This album right here, man, 11 songs, 38 minutes. I don't know if there's one joint that I really don't like. I don't know if you want to call this connoisseur. Is that what my man, the company man, coined it? Connoisseur rap. Willie the Kid is on here. He calls it luxury rap. I call it like highly intellectual conversational rap. But it's a lot of life gems in here. It's a lot of universally appealing advice, mentorship. I can really F with Ransom's music and what he's putting out here into the universe. All the double entendres, the movie references, the sports references, the metaphors, songs being a whole metaphor, his production, the album theme. I mean, dude is just a beast. One of the songs on here that's quickly kind of becoming my favorite is Redemption. Maybe not my favorite beat on here, but he really just saying some stuff on here. I believe this is the track where he says, you only see my moves, I talk less than a mime. But it's, as you, song after song, verse after verse, a very heavy record, album. I don't know, just very few misses on here. It's damn near a perfect game if I was making it analogous to a NBA playoff game performance. Not missing too many shots on here. Imperial Glaciers, as I mentioned, is dope, featuring Willie the Kid. Nice feature from Willie the Kid. Beautiful grave sites. JR does some nice work on there as a feature. I believe he's on Momentum, a part of Ransom's record label or whatever. He says some line on there about you couldn't even beat me and you had a coach, or you trying to see me, couldn't see me and you had a coach, something. The Elijah Price references and whatnot from Unbreakable. Captions is another very apropos track or record. Talking about the bullshit that we see going on social media, and just addressing it from a grown man's perspective, not really hating on what people are doing, but just kind of being amazed at the shit people waste time on online. Phenomenal record, Captions. The Hawk is the lead-off song on here. I was talking about this last week ahead of the album coming out. But Ransom is one of the best ambassadors for boxing. And this song, The Hawk, is about Aaron Pryor, a boxer from the 80s. One of the biggest things about, or one of the famous details of, about Aaron Pryor out of Cincinnati, Ohio, is that Sugar Ray Leonard, an all-time boxing great, who was a bigger fighter, bigger boxer than Aaron Pryor. Supposedly, Sugar Ray Leonard did not want to fight Aaron Pryor. That's what we've been hearing for years. But shout out to Ransom for coming out and like really paying more homage to boxing, which he obviously watches a lot and keeps up with a lot. Rituals, another phenomenal track. And one of the songs on here where Ransom isn't really relying on the funk, on the soul samples and the chipmunk soul production. It's a few songs on here where it's not the same tracks. It's not the same type, the same formula. But it features 38 Special. I don't think we've had a full length or EP from 38 Special in a long time. I said some stuff in my review of Benny the Butcher's most recent project that I really didn't like the track that he chose to put or feature 38 Special on. And this joint right here, Rituals, which is kind of about hustling and but sticking to the street code, yada yada yada. But 38 Special really shows his ass on this track. His verses reminds you and has me looking forward to when is Special gonna drop again. So Rituals is dope. Another track on here that I really like is Overnight Success. I would imagine what I was talking about earlier with Jay-Z and why I don't hear people like Jay or Nas come out and really co-sign and talk about a Ransom and speak of a Ransom. I would imagine it's because they feel like he doesn't make shit that's gonna get on the radio. He doesn't make anything that's gonna be in the club. But Overnight Success is a really dope record. The title tells you what it's about. But this is why I said, Ran is just like on some intellectual, conversational shit. Like talking about reflection, getting older, learning from past mistakes, excelling, focusing on your own shit, and taking care of your business. And he just really, Overnight Success, the track sounds like what he should be talking. I really love how he matched the emotion of this sample and the music with what he's talking about. The chorus is phenomenal. Overnight Success has been on replay the last 48 hours. Love that record. Making It is another joint that's kind of tied. It's kind of an extension of the theme from Overnight Success. And Making It is almost like a Life's a Bitch and Then You Die from Nas and AZ. It's almost kind of a similar theme. The Gambler. I said the Hawk, the leadoff record, the Hawk was all it was really about boxing, and Ransom talking about his skills, liking it to the skills and the career of a boxer. On The Gambler, he's making all of these references to shit that you would see in a casino. Pit Boss, Baccarat, chips, rolling dice. So that's another interesting record. Like I said, man, not many misses on this album. I probably pause when it comes to saying like this is a classic, because I don't know what the hell a classic is anymore. And I'm willing to bet my whole next paycheck that I'm not gonna bump into another brother and we're gonna be talking about, did you hear that No Rest for the Wicked? It's just not, I mean, we just don't, it's just very hard for guys in this space to really transcend, this type of music. But this is my favorite shit. It's my favorite type of shit. Like, I don't like listening to dumb shit and goofy, silly bullshit. And this record right here is damn near like watching a really good movie about hustling. And a dude that's trying to get out the game or has retired from the game. I love this album. I love this album. One of his best. He has this, I don't know if it was in this joint, Beautiful Grave Sites, but one of my favorite bars on here from Ransom was yesterday's run is not going to win today's race. There's another verse line that he has about you can't prepare for the battle the day of the war. Like I said, it's just all of these little quotes and what's another one he says? Oh, would you on circumstances? I didn't even talk about circumstances in this, which features my the one dude from the West Coast, Game. But all kind of bars and keys, gems, and circumstances. But he had to join on there, and I just forgot what the hell it was. Oh, would you plant a tree if you knew you weren't gonna sit in it, be able to sit in its shade? Stuff like that. So I just really enjoyed this project. Moving on, check that out. Let me see, get my time here. 21. Flea Lord. I really hooked up. I really got looped in with Flea Lord on at about the start of the pandemic. And he's probably one of the artists for me who's benefited the most from the pandemic. And again, I don't know who the hell I would bet my next paycheck. I'm not gonna run into anybody in none of my walks who know who the hell Flea Lord is, but Flea Lord makes some of the best East Coast music that's being made right now, in my opinion. I can't really sit here and tell you that Flea Lord is a great lyricist or an elite lyricist. I don't really think that's his goal. But when I listen to Flea, I feel like I'm listening to a dude who really loves hip hop and really takes a lot of pride in what the hell he does. Not a bad dude, not a bad MC, not a bad rapper, but I don't know. He just has this style. And one thing that I give him a lot of credit, Flea seems to have no problem with his fondness for what he does, seems to be making really good albums and grabbing the right individuals to be on the album and just showcasing them and letting them get a lot of the shine, and then he just adds his shit to it. And it's dope. The big thing here, if I had to sum up a statement on Pray for the Evil 3, this is really just, I think it's just this dope chemistry that him and his producer, the sole producer on the album this trilogy, it's just really this chemistry between Flea Lord and Mephux, who I got an interview on here with Mephux. Is also on my It's Always Personal podcast. If you don't want to watch the live stream, you can check out the audio only on It's Always Personal. Mephux just it's dope how the production on this third installment of Pray for the Evil, how it changes up. It's really heavy on these strings. He's really bringing back and focusing on horn samples, some nice bass lines. It's almost like he's a co-star on this project. And Mephux has done has been the sole producer on the Lord Mob dudes projects as they've dropped. But it seems like he really digs in and has some pride in like putting his best work out there to support this series right here, which is now a trilogy. So I got 12 songs here, 29 minutes to listen to the entire project. I don't remember the Welcome, I think is the name of it. Welcome, I think it's Welcome, is the first track. It's solid. And gets the album cooking for those of us who've been waiting for a part 3. But Paying Homage is a really dope record, a really interesting record. It starts like I'm watching a Mercedes-Benz or a Lexus commercial with this cello, or like what I would envision somebody playing a cello, from some symphony or some classical song, and they take it, or if Mephux takes it and turns it into this dope ass hip hop joint. Cormega does his thing. Cormega has always been a standout dude to me in chunks. I don't know if I've really ever messed with a Cormega with an entire album or whatever, but in his features, his work with the Firm, some of his features that he showed up, whether it was AZ, Nas, or Nori or whatever, he's always really held his own, and it was good to hear him pop back up and be solid like he is on this. But again, the strings on here, the drum track that's on there, it's a dope record. Go Mode features is track 3, I believe, Funk P and G4 Jag with the 38 with the potato nose or something. Good verse from G4 Jag. Solid introduction to Funk P. I'm not really all that familiar with him, but Go Mode, I like the energy of it, the pace of it. It keeps the project moving. Notion is a solid song that just features Flea Lord. It's about reflection and whatnot. Another cornerstone or standout record on here is The Essence, and that's what with this trilogy, with this series right here, Pray for the Evil. That's one of the signature parts of the series is as Flea Lord has emerged or elevated himself, he's gone out and brought in different features for each project to like signify, another rung, moving up another rung on the ladder. And to bring on a Fat Joe, whether you love him or hate him or whatever you feel about Fat Joe, this track is dope. Fat Joe gets into his something we what they wanted to be, name another MC with a career longer than me, and he's talking this shit, and it works. Joe is Puerto Rican or whatever. Flea Lord, I guess, is Puerto Rican. Is it a passing of the torch, paying homage? I don't know, but I love this record. Again, the strings on here are phenomenal. Just really mature beat making, which is what I love about what Mephux brings to the game or to the table. There's another track on here called "I Still Pray" featuring Stars Coleman. I like this record. It's a very solid record. I'm not that familiar with Stars Coleman, but he does his thing. I like this line on here about something being raised by the wolves, but he runs the pack. Something he needed help. Where you at? A good record. Juice featuring UFO Feeve. I've listened to some Feeve work. I think it's one of the better features from Feeve. Again, I just really love this track that that Mephux provides that helps the record extend the consistency of the music that's on here. Final Four. Rock Marciano, Conway the Machine, Flea doing his thing, and Rock Marciano's verse is stupid. I've listened to it a few times now. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to do what Rock Marciano does. The dude makes like every word and syllable in one bar rhyme with the preceding or the subsequent bar. It's an uncanny talent that the dude has, and it's silly on here. Khan does his thing, and then Trey the Truth, not the biggest Trey the Truth fan. Interesting relationship between Trey the Truth, who I believe has already been on one of the Pray for the Evil projects. It's cool. The album, so like I said, 12 joints, 29 minutes. After those right there, the big hitters, the album kind of starts to trend down a little bit in a way. But like I just told you, The Essence, paying homage with Cormega, Final Four, I Still Pray, Go Mode. I enjoy the project. Like I said, I don't know how I would really categorize Flea. And I've said this about some of the long-standing, some fixtures in hip hop over the last 15, 20 years. Like, you don't have to be all out great lyricist and great MC. Like, you can just know how to make the type of music that you make and the records that you make, and they're really dope records. Whatever your format, sometimes you can't, and sometimes that's better. You know, that sometimes that kind of skill or talent is better than just being a J. Cole or you know, a Kendrick Lamar, who, by the way, this at the end of this week, it's good that everybody is dropping right now, because we know who's gonna take over things probably for, you know, I don't know if the shit lasts longer than the weekend, but his Mr. Morale and the High Steppers, or with the Big Steppers, which might be a double LP or whatever, after being absent, you know, for 4 or 5 years now. So, like I said, these little 3 projects made my weekend. Pj Morton, Watch the Sun. Ransom, No Rest for the Wicked, phenomenal album. And then Flea Lord and Mephux bringing it home with Pray for the Evil 3. The one question here, when I listen to this, the outro song is a joint called Goodbye. And it features Tiona Denise, who we had that rap R&B project with, I believe, something about Mask or something. I can't remember. I listened to it a few times. It was a pretty solid album. But is this the end of Pray for the Evil? That was kind of my question in listening to this song and maybe reading in between the lines. Are they gonna shut this thing down? I don't know if that'd be a good idea or a bad idea. I think they've done their thing with if it is just ended as a trilogy. I think they've done their thing. If you go back and listen to the 3 releases, I think they're standout projects in Flea Lord's growing catalog. Like I said, a dude I just met in March of 2020. And the dude, you know, if you scroll through all his albums, I mean, you would think the dude's been cooking for like a dozen years or something. So, you know, last year, I think it was 2021, dropped the album every month. Or was that 2020? I can't remember at this point. But a highly productive dude. And like I said, man, I respect the dude's commitment to album making. And being concerned, you know, about how his music sounds, and then the people that he works with to get it done. You know, huge salute to Flea Lord. Anyway, pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. This is a 33-minute video. Probably people may watch 35 seconds of it, but I had to talk my shit and talk about music that I love. Because who else is gonna talk about Watch the Sun? The everyday dude such as myself. Who else is going to be out here bragging about Watch the Sun? Nobody. So I had a couple of minutes to the house by myself in the house. I had to say what I had to say. Let me get on out of here. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. 1.